Today's video is brought to you by Rocky Talkies. Well, what's going on, Gideon's Tactical family, and thanks for joining me today on this video where we're going to be taking a look at the 7 best fixed blades that I tested and reviewed in 2022. And make sure to stay tuned till the end of the video where I'll share with you 7 fixed blades that we'll be testing in 2023. So we're going to launch into this list with some fireworks with the best budget fixed blade that I tested this year, and it's the Joker Knives Campero. Now, I must have been living under a rock because I only discovered Joker Knives a few years ago, but was immediately blown away by all the options and variety and quality that you get at the price. These are Spanish-made knives. They have so many different options, styles to choose from. If you want Scandi, they got Scandi options. If you like Nessmucks, say with a saber grind and matching fire steel, there are those options available too. And made usually with either Sandvik 14C28N or Bowler N695 steel. They do have a few that have high carbon as an option. The value is just crazy. Huge handles on this one. Love the pattern. Pinned in. Full tank construction. This one has the Sandvik 14C28N. Full flat grind, obviously a 90-degree spine. I just loved using this tool. Very dense, high quality leather sheath with 2 points of either high ride or dangler as an option. And guys, when I was checking on this prior to making this video, I saw this model for $72 on Amazon. So of all the tools I tested this year, when you're on a budget, it is hard to beat the Campero and blades like it in the Joker lineup. And it's real tough for me to find any drawbacks to the Campero. If there were any, there aren't any options for ambidextrous leather sheaths that I'm aware of. And because there are so many different color combinations to steel to sheath options, sometimes it's a little tricky here in the States to find the exact maybe handle color or material with a particular type of sheath that you're looking for. And you may have to settle for, say, a wood handle when you really wanted micarta, or a grayed out micarta when you really wanted the red. Ooh, man, this is a good one. Best survival knife of 2022. This thing is a monster. Oh, but it was sick, and it's the M7 from Lion Steel. Man, just look at the lines on her with that high saber grind, 7-inch blade. Oh, and high saber grinds is what I want in a survival knife. Full flat is okay, but you lack a little bit of strength. And then a low saber, then you start to suffer. It's strong, but it suffers in the carving. This high saber and that amazing like B-17 bomber tip, I mean, just excellent. Just under a 1/4 inch thick, and that Sleipner steel gonna hold a better edge than your 1095s and basic high carbons that are out there. It's not a true stainless, even though this uncoated version didn't have any rusting when I was in Florida, when I was doing all of my testing and carried it through the whole South. Never had an issue with it. On the rusting portion, 90-degree spine. And we saw this last year with the T5, a canoed one piece of micarta. So there's no seaming or anything. This is literally a chunk of micarta that they then cut out and drop the full tang in, 3 screws. So you got a really comfy guard up there, really keeps you into place, but then a nice contoured bird beak, not exposed either. So chopping, because of a little bit of the extra weight, this chops. I would put it on par with the SE Hungelis 2 in its chopping capability, and can definitely out-chop other knives like the Becker BK7 blades like that in this size range, or the SE 6, but because of that huge deep choil and just the way that they've ground everything in, you can absolutely do fine work all day as well, and it feels very comfortable and not awkward when you're choking up because of the well balance of the blade to handle ratio. Coming in with an ambidextrous Kydex sheath as well, snaps you into place, and a MOLLE compatible backer. So it's super hard for me to find anything that I was not stoked about this year when I used this and put it into that survival knife category. If I had to nitpick, I know that just because it's a mass-produced blade, most other people don't have this issue. My Kydex sheath was a little sticky, and even to this day, if I don't get it directly in the proper way, it binds up on the Kydex, and then I have to back it out and put it back in the correct way. And so the tolerances just weren't quite there on this particular Kydex sheath. Now, usually we use our fixed blades in the outdoors, and that's why we need to have reliable equipment that we can trust. And that's why for the last 2 years, I've been using Rocky Talkies for my outdoor communication. Aaron, do you copy?
Yeah, I copy, good buddy. Here's the deal, guys. I could remind you about all of what Walkie-Talkie offers and tell you how it's an excellent backcountry walkie-talkie design. I could remind you about their lithium-ion battery that lasts 3 to 5 days and how it's interchangeable with backup batteries and how it is rated down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. We could recall the range of line of sight over 25 miles and how I've personally tested it with my wife of line of sight over 11 miles across one of the lakes in Idaho that we visited, and how in rugged mountainous terrain like this, it's rated for 1 to 5 miles. And I personally have been able to communicate with my brother when he was over 3 miles away, 2 ridge lines over in a bowl at a lake, and I was in a bowl in a lake, or at a lake, in Wyoming, or how it practically saved my marriage for the year plus that my wife and I and the kids traveled America in the RV, being able to use this across the campsite, but also helping to back in our rig. Aaron, can you help these folks out? If they haven't picked up a Walkie-Talkie yet, what do they do?
Yeah, I can help them with that, good buddy. Guys, it's easy for you, if you have yet to pick up a pair of Walkie-Talkies, to use the hyperlink in the description box below, as well as my exclusive 10% off promo code, which will get you 10% off your purchase. So I invite you to check out that hyperlink and see all that Walkie-Talkie has to offer. So the best tactical knife of 2022, the Tops Knives Zabo Express. Now there's 2 varieties. You can get the double edge like I have, but you can also get a single edge depending on where you live and what you really want to do with the tool. Just over 5 inches of reach on that blade. 5/32 of an inch thick, so it's nice and thin, but still strong, really went through the ringer. That thinness means that it's very light and agile for how long the blade is, giving you that extra reach without the extra weight. Excellent top and bottom guard to keep you locked into place. Good ribbing on that micarta and the contouring, meaning that it makes it easy for you to then pull out after a lethal pierce, and perfectly fits a hammer grip or a reverse grip style. Has a pancake kydex sheath that's very slim, making it not print as much as you may think underneath a t-shirt. In certain areas of my body, you almost couldn't even see it. If you are looking for a large self-defense tool, this is one of the better designs I've seen in years. Now, if there was a drawback, it would be size. It is a large fixed blade to carry on your person, particularly if you want to carry something like this concealed. These are the dimensions that the designer wanted, but a compact version at say 3.75 to 4 inches of blade length would be amazing, and I know would definitely scratch the itch of many people wanting something similar, but a little bit more compact. And I invite you guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, to make sure and to subscribe, smash that like button, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that you're notified when a new video goes up every week, so that you can be updated on your favorite gear and outdoor equipment. Now, for many of you, you like having a fixed blade as your everyday carry. So you're looking for something compact, slim, easy to carry, but very capable. The best fixed blade for EDC that we tested in 2022 was the TJ Schwartz designed Overland, a super unique profile that really stands out from the crowd. What I like is that not only is it gonna have Magna Cut steel. This was the very first Magna Cut blade I ever tested. It is insane for a stainless steel, and it is gonna have more toughness, but also rust resistance than most other knives out there. Move over M390. This was actually dumped into the Gulf of Mexico, and then I hung out in the Gulf for 3 months, going from Texas to Alabama to Louisiana and over to Florida, and not any sort of rusting, staining, or issues whatsoever on that steel. But also the size. You know, a lot of EDC blades are really compact. The blade length is really small. Think of the Azula 2, you know, at like 2.5 inches, maybe 3 if you're lucky. This has just over 3 inches of cutting edge, but still being at that 1/8 of an inch thick. So you're gonna get a lot of slicing capability, a little bit more reach than normal. Lots of customization options, not only in the handle scale hardware, but also in color combinations of G10 and micarta that are available. You can get right or left-handed oriented, very slim kydex or leather sheath options. And again, being very slim and low profile, but still giving you a lot of handle to grip, even a little choil to choke up on, and really can do basically every EDC task that you would consider a fixed blade like this to do. If there were any downsides, one is just availability. It's made in small batches right here in America by TJ himself. And so you are going to have to wait, maybe get on a waiting list, pre-orders, things like that. And the style is very unique. And even though this is a pretty aggressive sheep's foot design, it actually runs perfectly in line and parallel with the lanyard hole. So it has a perfect symmetry there. But just the drop of the handle, the style of the blade may not be for everybody. And if you are a little bit on the fence with the design, TJ partnered with KELTY a while back and created a pocket knife folding version of this design so that you could see how the handle and blade shape operates and then commit to the full fixed blade design. So pretty cool way to progress into it if you want. And folks, if throughout this video, one of these blades you want to put in your rotation, I encourage you to check out the hyperlinks that I have to all the affiliate networks that I regularly partner with in the description box below. You know you shouldn't be chopping with a knife. Well, then you've obviously never handled the Tops Knives Power Eagle. Now this model is nothing new to the market. It's been around for quite a long time, but recently they put a saber grind instead of a full flat grind onto the blade, and it totally changes the way it performs. With a 12-inch blade, 1/4-inch thick spine, and comes in weighing at 26 ounces, the intense power to impact ratio that this knife brings down on wood and material is almost unparalleled in the chopping machete-sized arena of knives. And what's very nice to see is that the edge geometry will hold up to that impact, but also is fine enough that you can get fine carving or shaping of wood done with ease. With an excellent handle design, good bird beak, and actually even comes with these shock cord strands to easily grip the tool so it won't launch out of your hand, but having a large unsharpened ricasso, allowing me to choke up some and get a little bit better angle and manipulation than other large machetes. I'm thinking of saving the Becker BK9 or Essie Hungalis. This would easily be in the running for the best chopper of all time that I've ever tested and used over the last decade, and definitely for this year takes the cake. Now there are a few drawbacks though. The first is it is absolutely front heavy, and for chopping or batoning and heavy large motor skill tasks, that's excellent. For the finer detail work, even though the grip is good, it is very front heavy and will fatigue your hand quickly when you are doing finer work. Second is the price. Street value right now usually goes for about $220 at the end of 2022. And with a very basic nylon sheath, it would have been great to have it about that same price with some form of leather or kydex. Now, if we were to look at the best overall belt knife of 2022, for me, it would have to be the Reef Knives F4. Made right here in the USA with CPM 3V steel. This is an excellent choice for a belt knife at just about 4 inches, just a hair over, I believe, with a high saber grind, 5/32 of an inch thick with a 90-degree spine. You can get them with either leather sheaths or kydex, and comes with a lifetime warranty. But what really sets it apart is the size and dimensions of the handle. So many times knives in this category tend to have a small blade, but also a small handle, and that sometimes limits the grip and just the comfort with extended use. And many will taper significantly near the neck. That is not the case. In fact, it is fuller near the neck and then slightly tapers down on those G10 handle scales. Those scales go all the way down to the guard. There's a very small resharpening ricasso that is angled so it won't snag on netting or cordage. It has a perfect symmetry for me of a large, comfortable handle, but also a high quality 3V steel in an excellent blade shape. If there were any detractors to the design, one, it would be price. You are gonna have to commit to the style and to the performance. It's gonna be about $335 last I checked for this model. And currently there's only about 3 different colors on this G10 handle. It'd be excellent to see more customization in 2023 and an option for micarta for those who want that as a feature in their handles. Now, what about the best do-everything fixed blade of 2022? And it would have to be the Tops Knives Brush Wolf. Not only is this design just wild and stands out from many other blades in its size range, but also capability, as I've been able to use it more and more throughout the year, I've been able to see that there are many attributes that would be able to be used in a pinch in a lot of different scenarios. We've got just about a 2-inch, 90-degree spine. Unlike a lot of sawbacks in the industry that are just for show, this one has just the right amount to be able to make a notch for a trigger or a trap or a tripwire, but doesn't take up the entire back spine, limiting some of its other capability. And with the continuous sweep and belly of the design means that you're gonna have a continuous geometry of sweep slicing through a piece of material with each stroke. The reinforced tip is in perfect line with the entire handle, meaning that you'll be able to start a bow drill. There are bow drill divots on either side. And with the 3-position grips on the handle, a front end cutout that locks you directly into place and you're close enough to the edge that manipulation of the tool and finer work is very easily accomplished. Your backup general grip for large sweeping cuts, and then a slight bird beak with an exposed pommel that is all rounded so it's not sharp is gonna give you the swing to be able to produce chops that will usually outperform most other 11-ounce blades in this size range, having a 6¼ inch cutting edge, meaning it will outchop many other midweight survival knives and will be nimble enough and controllable enough to make it feel more like a compact camp knife. And with that sweep and tip, you know in a pinch you can protect yourself from a zombie horde. And with an excellent leather sheath, well crafted with a dangler, it's easy to say it's one of the best do-everything tools I've ever handled, but that doesn't mean it's perfect, just like any of the other tools we've looked at today. That drop sometimes means that you're gonna have glancing blows with a batoning stick, depending on how large the log is that you're batoning. Though the handle is very ergonomic and has 3 different grip points, it is absolutely on the narrow side, which is the design preference that the designers had. And just to give you perspective, here's that M7 again, which is definitely gonna have a larger, wider handle. Now, as promised, here are just a few of the fixed blades that I've already started testing that we're gonna see in the new year. A Case and Winkler Knives collaboration, an outdoor-focused, budget-friendly SOG, a standard size, and extra large size Nessmuck blades from Brissa, the cheapest AUS 10 steel fixed blade I've seen on the market, a Skax style knife made right here in America, our first ever heli knife, and she is a beauty. Extremely compact SOG with 154 cm, and that's just scratching the surface of the blades, gear, and adventures that I have planned for us in the new year. So I invite you guys to leave a comment below to let me know of other gear and blades that you want me to test out in the coming year. I always appreciate your guys' input and gives me ideas, as well as sometimes introduces me to equipment that I didn't know even existed. And let me know what you thought your best blade that you tested and used this year in that comment section below. And I'm looking forward to reading all of your guys' thoughts and input. And I just want to thank every single one of you as members of the Gideon's Tactical family for all of your years of support and just being part of the community and family that we have here. Without you guys, what I do here in this channel would not exist. So I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.